Hello, Charles, are you there? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Charles?
Hello, good evening.
Well, technically it's afternoon here.
Okay. It's
How are
evening
you
here.
going? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why are you having so much trouble with technology? I don't understand.
Well, is a peculiar problem with the environment where we stay here.
With the environment.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll go to the site and the environment, you can't have access to internet.
Okay, but you have access now.
Yes.
Okay, why do you have access now and not before?
Because right now I'm at home. It's night here.
Okay, you have access from your home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you have access to the internet from your home all the time?
All the time from the house, yes.
Okay, so why don't you run your business from your house then?
I'm an architect, so sometimes you need to go to the site and you spend some hours at the site. So at that point, you may not have access to internet.
Okay, but once you're on the site, your focus should be on the site, not the
Yes,
internet.
so
right?
sometimes you're off.
Okay. So what do you want to accomplish on this call?
Well, I really want to see how much we can network to get our business to a larger audience and better clients and all that.
Well, you need to develop a
Mhm.
strategy. I mean, that's what we do. We develop strategies for clients so they can attract
Yeah,
their target demographic, their target clients.
that's
Well,
what you told me.
said this many times already on LinkedIn and Facebook and many places.
Yeah.
Your best place to do that is on LinkedIn.
Yes, but the truth about, like I told you, is the jobs we do here are basically our links are cost. How do I put it? Your clients recommend you to another client because of what you have done, and so the linkage doesn't really help us much here, except you have an organization that could sell your product.
Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Who is your ideal client?
My ID client.
Is it architects or you want to work directly with developers?
We want to work with developers, not architects. But I'm an architect, so architect is developers to work with.
Yeah, but you can do subcontract work for other architects.
Yeah, depending on what they want us to do and other.
Right. So there's many opportunities. So if you want to work directly with developers, you have to show them why you're a benefit to them. Right? If you can't even get on technology, if you can't even communicate with them, how are you going to be a benefit to them? Because so far you haven't been able to communicate with me. People like
Basically,
you. So how the
why
hell
I've
can
not
they
been
have
able to put
developers.
them, I've not been able to put in the efforts to communicate with you because I I wanted to know more about you and all that. So now I know more about you. I could now put all efforts to make sure I'm able to communicate at all times that is necessary to communicate with you.
Okay, that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
And it's quite frankly frustrating.
So I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so you want to reach developers. In what country do you want to reach developers?
We can work with any developer anywhere as long as we have good briefs from them on what they want us to do.
Okay, so let's talk about North America and Europe then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we need to find out who they are and develop a strategy to connect with them and start a conversation with them.
Okay.
That's basic business, right? You need to know who the decision makers are, then start a conversation to build trusted relationship with them in a non-threatening way.
Okay.
Okay. The same thing we did for a salt exporter out of Turkey. We needed to find out who imports salts by the truck, by the shipload, and each load was about $2 million. So once you know who they are, and most of these people, the high-end people, generally do not spend a lot of time on social media because everybody's trying to sell them.
Okay.
But we need to connect with them through their assistants. So there's always people around them that have internet connection and are active on social media. So by finding out who their assistants are or their general managers or whoever it is, we connect through them to get an introduction to the CEO.
Okay.
Okay, so developers are not going to be on social media, but their employees are. So you just connect through their employees to them, but you have to have, a pretty strong message for an employee to go to the CEO and say, hey, you got to talk to this Charles guy. This guy, his designs are amazing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's what I was trying to tell you the first day we talked, a year ago or more than a year ago. So why did we waste a year?
Well, like I said, your activities here, I was really carried by the few things we were doing, and I didn't know you have this much to offer.
Well, that's why you ask questions. How many employees do you have?
How many
employees do you have?
Basically, we're into designs. I have 4 of them here, 4 junior architects to work with me.
Okay. All right. Do you know other countries' building codes? Do you know other countries' tastes and styles?
You're talking about building codes?
Building codes and taste and style.
Yes.
So do you know what people in UK like in terms of a design?
Yes.
Okay. What about North America?
Yeah, because the building codes, we use the British building codes here in Nigeria.
Okay. All right. So let's concentrate on the UK then. If you're using building codes, that's a huge advantage.
What they do there.
Sorry?
I said that doesn't mean that we can't get what they use there to also build according to your specifications and their codes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you talked to developers in the UK?
I've been able to talk with friends in America, but not in UK.
Okay. All right. So to develop a strategy like this, obviously you need money. Do you have a marketing budget to get this done?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Sorry, you're cutting out.
So I didn't hear you probably then.
In order to get this done, you're going to need a marketing budget. Do you have a marketing budget to reach developers in
Yes.
UK and North America?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much do you have available for that purpose?
In terms of much, I'm looking at not I'm looking at what I have in terms of my website and all that, my job profile. Is that what you're looking at, or the value in the currency? Or
Sorry, I didn't understand any of that. A developer from the UK, hold on, let me explain this. A developer from the UK is not going to look at your website.
Okay.
You have to create the need first. Then they're going to look at your website to see your designs. But
Okay.
nobody's going to search. I don't even know what country you're in. Show me the best architect in Africa. They're not looking for that. So websites,
Okay.
your website in this case is useless at the beginning,
Okay.
right? That's why you have to use
Okay.
LinkedIn, because they are already on LinkedIn.
Okay. So what exactly that's why we are linked, that's why we're talking with. What exactly do we have to really put on table to make them get to us?
Well, you have to create a real differentiator. I'll give you an example. We work for an architect in Montreal. She's in the border of Montreal, Quebec. And she does very, very contemporary designs, very unique designs, very outrageous designs. So we use those designs to start conversations. We use those designs to, we do a lot of A/B testing. We show her designs right beside a traditional home. She does homes mainly. And we just say, which design do you like? Most people say A.
Okay.
2 or 10% of the people say B.
Okay.
B are the ones that like her design. Now we know the ones that we need to target, because he already said they like her designs. We're not going to waste our time with people who don't like her designs, right? So you take 10,000 people that saw these pictures, and now you have 20 or 30 that say they like the design. Okay. Then we start asking questions and building relationships. And over a 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 months, we find out, hey, yeah, they're looking to build a custom home, right? And that's how you get an introduction to them. Yours is different. But the strategy would be the same, because you want to reach developers, and developers have certain tastes already, right? And you want to interact with them to see why they like their particular designs. They like their particular designs because probably they've sold more of that design than anything else, right? But maybe they're missing opportunities because they haven't really looked at different designs. They haven't done any testing. Nobody does any testing, right? So when you help developers do some testing, and your design continually comes up better than the other designs, of course you're going to have a second look at you.
Okay.
Right? It's not always about lowering their costs, because when you lower their costs, you make sure you don't make any money, right? It's about increasing their margins so they make more money and you make more money. right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is off the top of my head. I mean, if we spend a couple weeks coming up with a real strategy, I'm sure we can come up with 10 or 20 different ways to start conversations with developers. This works for every industry. It works in the salt industry, construction industry, automotive industry, travel and tourism. I mean, even with lobsters, we did the same thing with lobsters in Newfoundland, in Nova Scotia. But you got to have a
All right.
strategy and you got to have a differentiator. If you look like everyone else, then they're not going to pay a second look at you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would
Alright.
suggest, I mean, I don't know how much money you have, but I would suggest let's start with $5,000 and let's start doing some testing. Let's start getting you some developers. Maybe instead of going after developers, maybe we come down a little bit and start looking
Yeah.
at custom home builders or something. Do you do custom homes as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's work, because custom home builders don't have an internal design department, so they outsource that, which is easier to get than the developers. Developers already have an architect or an architectural firm they've been using for the last 20 years. And
Yes.
trying to
Yes.
break a 20-year relationship is going to be a challenge.
Yes.
Right? But if they, a custom home builder, if he uses 2 or 3 different architects because of the different designs, then it's easy to say, hey, give us a shot. You liked our other renderings, give us a shot on your next project. And that's much easier to get.
Yeah. So we will have to do a proper strategy development and get back to you so that you can get started from that point. Yeah.
Sorry, repeat that.
I said we need to develop better strategy on how and get back to you so that you can play on that
No, the
platform.
business strategies we develop. That's
Okay.
our department. I don't think there's anyone better on LinkedIn that does that better than we do. We are experts at the designing relationship strategy for future potential clients.
Okay.
Okay. There is no one better on LinkedIn. We do 30
Okay.
different.
Okay, so I think as a mistake, what I mean by that is we need to get in designs that are, would I say, from the class of developers you're looking at, that are affordable and with all that is required to make it a sellable project and all that, and get back to you.
Or no, that's going to be another way we're going to waste another year. Make a decision that you're going to commit $5,000 to testing this strategy, right? And we can start doing that tomorrow. But you need to make a commitment.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Make a commitment to invest $5,000 so we can start designing the differentiator and designing the strategy to find your ideal clients. And I would say, I mean, without a lot of thought, I would say let's start with custom home builders before we start with developers. Let's get a few projects under your belt, success and great reviews. Then we'll take those great reviews and start building other relationships with developers.
Okay.
I mean, we can do both at the same time, but I would focus more on the custom home builders. That's where you're going to get the cash flow.
Okay. So I'll need to analyze what I will discuss with my staffs, and we'll quickly respond to that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Send me your email address. I'll send you this recording. That way you can share this recording with your people.
I'll do that right away.
All right. We'll talk again tomorrow. Take care.
You're welcome. Thank you.